It is Monday, April 22nd, 2025, and the Democratic Party is in full-blown meltdown mode. Their newly appointed 22-year-old DNC vice chairman is openly and publicly attempting to purge all moderate Democrats from party leadership. Now, many within the party want this kid gone, and for good reason. We're going to show you exactly why this is causing such chaos. At the same time, the corporate media is once again trying to put Donald Trump on the defensive. Pete Hegseth, Trump's defense secretary, is under pressure. NPR has just published an article this morning claiming that Trump is shopping around for a replacement. What they don't seem to realize is just how united and in sync Trump 2.0's administration really is. We'll break that down for you too. And yes, you read that right. Free fentanyl in California. It sounds like a bad joke, but a California mayor has made a shocking statement that's gone viral. We're going to show you that clip and what's really behind it. But before we dive into today's stories, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps out the channel. And if you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss any of our regular updates. You're watching Glob Pulse, where we break the stories that matter. Let's start with the DNC chaos. 2 months ago, on February 1st, 2025, the Democratic National Committee elected David Hogg as vice chairman. Yes, that David Hogg, 22 years old, a rabid left-wing activist who came into the public spotlight after the Parkland High School tragedy. Since then, he's become one of the most outspoken critics of the Second Amendment, even going so far as to say it should be completely repealed. This is the same David Hogg who has no experience in government or politics, no established network, and no understanding of the broader political process. Yet here he is, holding one of the most powerful positions in a major political party. The vice chair of the DNC isn't just a figurehead. They oversee fundraising efforts, policy positioning, candidate recruitment, and support for those already in office. It's a massive responsibility. And what's the result of putting someone like Hogg in this role? The Democratic Party's approval rating is now at a record low, just 21%. Things got even more chaotic over the weekend when Hogg made a bombshell announcement. He declared that, under his leadership, the DNC would actively work to primary and remove any moderate or centrist Democrats who are not aligned with the Resist Trump agenda. This isn't just strategy, it's political civil war. He's trying to force out anyone who doesn't fully embrace the far-left ideology. Even House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, the most powerful Democrat in Congress, appears to be on the chopping block. His reaction to all this? Clearly, he's not thrilled. During an interview, Jeffries made it clear he stands behind every single Democratic incumbent, from the most progressive to the most centrist. His response, though diplomatic, dripped with frustration. This, right here, is the problem with the Democratic Party. They haven't learned a thing from their past defeats. The further left they go, the more they alienate the average American. And guess what happens next? Voters walk away, in droves. Just look at the names. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Joe Rogan. Even Bill Maher, once a staunch liberal, is sounding more conservative by the day. Maher recently interviewed Charlie Kirk, and the conversation revealed a lot about where Maher stands these days. He described the current left as purple-haired jihadis, explaining that the modern woke movement has veered so far off the rails, it no longer represents classical liberalism. Maher's point is crystal clear. Liberalism used to mean striving for a colorblind society. The new left, what he calls woke, is obsessed with race, obsessed with identity politics, and deeply intolerant of dissent. He even joked that they expect him to hop on the short bus to Crazy Town, and he's not going. You'd think Democrats would be doing well right now. Trump's presidency is going through a tough period. He's disrupting the global economic order, renegotiating trade deals, and shaking up the status quo. Most Americans think things might get worse before they get better. This should be the Democrats' golden moment. But instead, they're falling apart. The latest polling shows just 21% of Americans approve of the Democratic Party. Let that sink in. 21%. That's the lowest approval rating in modern polling history, according to Quinnipiac University. Even among Democrats, support is fading. Nearly half, 49%, disapprove of congressional Democrats. Only 40% approve. These numbers are terrible. They're not just bad, they're historically disastrous. And while Democrats are tearing each other apart, President Trump is showing strength and unity. This morning, he issued a full-throated endorsement of his Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth. Despite a barrage of media attacks and anonymous reports claiming Trump is considering a replacement, the president isn't budging. According to NPR's unnamed sources, Trump is supposedly looking for a new Secretary of Defense. But Trump's press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, fired back hard. She called the NPR report total fake news, based on one anonymous source who clearly doesn't know what they're talking about. At the White House Easter egg roll, Pete Hegseth was surrounded by media but didn't flinch. In front of his family, he came out swinging. He called out the media for recycling old lies, referencing the Russia hoax and Pulitzer Prizes awarded for false stories. He said, "This is what they do. They take anonymous sources, disgruntled former employees, and they try to ruin people." Hegseth isn't backing down. He said the Pentagon is finally being put back in the hands of warfighters, not bureaucrats. The goal is to clean house, and he knows that doesn't win you friends. But that's the job. President Trump echoed this sentiment, saying, "Ask the Houthis how he's doing. We have the highest recruitment numbers in years. He was put there to get rid of a lot of bad people. That's what he's doing." This is a huge difference from Trump 1.0. Back then, the administration was constantly reacting to media hoaxes. Not anymore. Trump 2.0 is focused, disciplined, and not taking the bait. In another story, Congressman Jamie Raskin is now threatening foreign leaders, including the president of El Salvador. Raskin warned that leaders supporting Trump's administration should remember that Trump won't be in office forever. He said, "We will remember who supported democracy and who pushed autocracy." This is rich, coming from Raskin, the same guy who tried to use the 14th Amendment to kick Trump off the ballot. He attempted to overturn the results of an election and now wants to lecture the world about democracy. Meanwhile, out in California, the crisis on the streets is reaching a boiling point. Homelessness is rampant. Drug use is skyrocketing. And one mayor decided to make a shocking statement to get people's attention. At a recent city hall meeting, the mayor was asked about plans for the homeless. His response? "I want to give them free fentanyl." When questioned, he repeated it. "I want to give them all the fentanyl they want." He's not actually advocating this, of course. The mayor clarified that he said it to provoke a reaction, to force the state government to take action. He wants people to pay attention to what's happening, and it's working. California has spent over $30 billion to fight homelessness, but the problem keeps getting worse. Many of these individuals are mentally ill, violent, and dangerous. There are endless videos of innocent civilians being attacked by homeless individuals. And thanks to California's bail system, these attackers are back on the streets almost immediately. This mayor is sounding the alarm, and he's right to do so. Something has to change. That wraps up this episode of Glob Pulse. If you found this content informative or eye-opening, please like and subscribe so you don't miss our next report. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. See you next time.